Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, washers of all ages, this is Bill with Mr. Power Washing, proud to present to you the 2025 enclosed pressure washing trailer build. Not the rebuild, we did that before. This is a build. If you followed already, I decided to go enclosed this year. This was the old trailer, and by old I mean this was the fourth trailer, second revision that I used last year. It was 24 degrees this morning, and it's going to get up to 48 this afternoon and dip back down. I'm tired of winterizing my pumps when I have commercial winter services. And I'm also tired of then when it's that cold having to make room in my shop, because obviously I have projects, as most of you know. So moving it in and out, it's the biggest thing is the wind chill. I always tell clients, if it is 35 degrees or warmer, I will wash. That means the water I am spraying will not freeze on the ground. It won't create trip hazards. It won't damage my equipment. But the issue is I then have to leave before the sun sets, because wind chill is the factor with an open trailer. So this year I went open closed. This is a 7-foot wide by 14-foot long by 7-foot tall enclosed trailer. There is a roughly 2-foot V-nose on it. This has a 6-inch tube frame, 3 main bars all the way down. Floor and walls are 12 inches on center. I have two 5,200-pound axles. Both axles have trailer brakes, which my 2017 GMC Sierra 1500 pulls actually better than it did that trailer. And I also just last week installed these helper bags, which go up to 100 psi. They say it could help with up to 5,000 pounds. I'm not going to try that. Open driving with nothing in the bed, I keep it around 5 to 6 pounds. With this trailer, I only run 25 pounds in it, and it handles like there's nothing back there. I would not advise taking a large trailer unless you have trailer brakes, electronic trailer brakes, because that is the biggest thing, is stopping. Also, you want to make sure you have your weight properly distributed front to back. I'll kind of explain to you how I did mine, the theory behind that, as this is a full theory and operation video. So without further ado, we can come in here. First thing you'll notice is I have two 40-inch wide doors on each front side, so I have access to either side in the front here, or for ventilation I can hold these open. Because of the size, they did give me those little door stays, which are kind of awkward. Right now I'm just using a bungee cord off the trailer tongue to hold them open. I will come up with a better formulation for that as we go, just because of wind. That's my biggest concern. Got a little car mat here from Costco just to keep the front area here kind of dry. The eventual goal will be to have shelves up here. Don't have that up yet. This is just how I'm operating currently. I do have this nice 46-inch toolbox that I got from Harbor Freight. I think it was $300, and this is a heck of a lot better than having random toolboxes up here. That being said, with this wood top, I was able to get a 6-inch vise that is bolted down, so no having to clamp. This is inside. It will not rust. It can pivot, no problems. Take you through a quick toolbox tour here. I obviously will be locking this in transit so the drawers don't fly open. This is going to be my immediate necessities. The remotes for my remote valves are here currently. They will be in the back once I'm working. But basically, extra keys. This is where I'm going to keep my tape. A couple of towels, extra gloves. It's kind of going to be just a catch-all utility drawer. We're going to go down on the right side here first. Right now I just got some Velcro straps in here. Nothing big. Here I have my extra remotes, extra battery relays, and my pressure gauges for both my high and low pressure systems for when I need to chuck pressure, adjust unloader valves, anything like that. This drawer is all the little bits and pieces. This is a nice little kit. We've got everything from ball valves to downstream injectors. Then we have a wide variety of 3/8 fittings and 1/2-inch fittings, followed by a huge selection of O-rings. Just in case anything goes down in the field, I should be able to handle it. Extra Mosmatic swivels, the special Allen wrenches for the Flow Pro and other remote valve like that. Go into the big drawer here, and this is a lot a lot of just miscellaneous stuff. Got some shop towels here. I do have my gutter bags down here, extra garbage bags for covering up TVs or any outside equipment. This little container here has my tattoo sleeves that I use for covering security cameras, ring cameras, anything that's a little larger that tape alone will not cover. I've got my WD-40 silicone spray. This is what I spray all of my quick connects with. That does help resist water wash away. Stainless steel wipes for aluminum door frames, Goo Gone, this paint remover down here, just kind of a catch-all for small stuff. Extra pump oil and extra engine oil, just in case. That's our right side. Our left side, this is the tool drawer. Just got a real basic ratchet set here with 1/4" and 3/8 drive from Home Depot. An assortment of brass brushes and nylon brushes for cleaning if I get a leak, if I need to clean some tape off to retape a fitting, or picks to dig O-rings out. Electrical tool if I need to splice in some wire for something. Basic stuff. Drawer number 2 is my window cleaning extras, extra rubbers, extra sock for my wash bar, TDS meter, miscellaneous. This drawer is all my extra fittings for water-fed poles. So extra 3/8 fittings that go to garden hoses, extra clamps, extra relays for the pump, wire nuts, just miscellaneous. And then obviously adjustable wrenches you have to have. My additional water-fed pole brush there. And this one has a lot of my extra cleaning supplies. I've got my melamine sponges. I've got brass wool, coconut pads. I forget what these aggressive pads are called. Pads for my water-fed pole. Extra gloves, extra fuel pump, respirator, unloaders, some 1/4" and 3/8 hose. I don't know why I have the 3/8 in here. I don't have anything 3/8 anymore. And a section of rope for when I have to pull my pressure hose up to a higher level. And then some extra extension cord wire here, so if I do have to hot wire something together, I can. So that's the toolbox in a nutshell. Underneath, I do have 5 of the 2 hose speed bump things for when I do commercial properties. Over on the left side here, I have my extra 200-foot section of 3/8 pressure hose that neatly holds my fire extinguisher until I find a better place for it. On the right side, I've got my garbage can, and then this little ammo box that holds a bunch of bungee cords and just some other clamps for if I need to, cover up a bush or a Japanese maple, something like that. We're gonna pan to the back here. Give you a little bit more of the business end from the front to see what we got. I intentionally left, there's 1, 2, easily 3.5 feet of walking room up here. I'm not going to come in and be bumping into stuff. If, I'm sure you know, you have a break in the field and you're trying to fix it, you're in a rush. Usually you're not thinking straight. I do not need to be tripping over things. Basically, I have E-tracking, 3 levels of it across the whole thing. I've got the bottom about 6 inches up. That's about, I think, 38 or 40 inches, and then I have a high one up there. The bottom one is multi-purpose. Its main purpose back here was I have 2 deep cycle batteries for my 24-volt pump. They are strapped in, so they're held right there. I can hook up to them real easily with a charger. On this side is my 12-volt battery that powers everything else. I've got my DI filter here for my water-fed pole. That's all tied in. Those gold brackets you see in the E-tracking are for 2x4s. That's what they're meant for like load locking. They work great. I happen to have a bunch extra of them, so I used them everywhere I could, including this 2x6 going across here. And that is support for the top part of my bleach tank. On the bottom of both the bleach tank and my buffer tank there, I do have angle iron on the sides to keep it from going side to side. This is more at the top to keep it from tipping forward or back. So right here, we've got 4 milk crates, which will soon be expanded to more. Each one has a different gallon chemical. I have them all kind of categorized. This is Broadway Brightener from Absolute Chemical. So this is rust removal, and then I believe I also have concrete cleaner. This is acids. This is my degreasers. So here we have Renew BC, also from Absolute Chemical, 615, so heavy oil stains, Dragon Juice, CPW. Then this one is my wood cleaner and shingle grip. So roof cleaning, wood, gutter cleaner, hydroxide, Restore All, and a citrus degreaser for tire marks. And the basic theory behind those four is that if I'm out on a job and someone says, hey, I also have this stain, is there anything you can do with it? I don't need a whole 5-gallon treatment of it. I'm not doing a whole property, so maybe one of those 16 chemicals there will take care of it, and I can upcharge and not have to come back. If it is a bigger job, like when I do my commercial properties, I will have 5-gallon buckets up here. This is 615 penetrator for oil stains and such, and this is concrete cleaner that I downstream. I downstream that, and that I just pour out of my handy dandy watering can. Works a lot better for treating oil stains in driveways than actually running that through a 12 volt, or I do have this 12 volt sprayer here that I use sometimes to spray acids, and it's a pain. If you can just mix it in a watering can and spray it, it goes a lot faster. This is a 100-gallon bleach tank. I do have my caps taped off, and I have this hose here that goes up and out. I'll show you on the back. Can I zoom in? I can. It goes out through the back for my vent. So there is no bleach smell in here. I don't have to worry about it rusting anything out. This is a mini Mondo, so that's a 31-inch surface cleaner that fits just perfectly up to the door there. I have that just kind of held in between those two straps. I switched last year to strict 0G hose. This is a 3/4-inch professional 0G hose. These are 0G hose. These are 75-foot sections. I had them on a reel last year, which this hose, when there's no water in it, it just collapses down. So you can fit a ton of this on a reel. My problem was it's not really heavy at all, especially when it's empty. So I was taking up a reel. So to consolidate on space, I went back to what I did the first year and just sort of tied these up. They actually, if I hang them on this lock bar here and go all the way down and then around, that's the perfect length. And then I just use these Rapid Velcro straps, and then I support them on these J-hook E-track clamps. So I've got 75, 150, 225 feet of hose here. I do have another 75-foot section that will be coming in here. So I'll have 300 feet of supply hose at my disposal. Now my ladder, this is I believe it's a 20-foot, 24-foot, 26-foot. One of those. It's the blue ladder. This trailer is 14 feet, so that's got to be, let's see, that's got to be 12. That's got to be a 24-foot ladder. And this works absolutely perfect. I didn't want to put it on top. I didn't want to have to be climbing on top of the trailer. Since the ceiling is 7 feet high in here, I'm able to have this. The bottom of this is just, I think, 6 foot 1 inch. So it's literally, I can walk clear under here, 6 foot tall, no problems, not going to hit my head. It's out of the way. I have tons of extra room up top if I need for anything. I do also have my little brush right here that also lives up here. And yeah, just extra room up there for other long things that need to be put in. Okay, so we're bouncing around a little bit. We'll continue here. So I've got, this is for my, both my 24-volt electric pump and for my P40. I use this manifold or valve setup for both. So obviously one is coming out of the SH tank, one goes down into the bleach tank, and then I've got the water tank, and then another one goes down in there for the rinse. This is a 400-gallon poly tank. It's what's called a doorway tank. I was pretty unfamiliar with this, but got a really good deal on it from a buddy. The theory behind it is instead of having one large square, is you've got two circles. And as you know, the reason leg tanks are popular is because with its curvature, it helps the water when it sloshes to kind of go up instead of just hitting flat against a surface or a flat vertical surface. And that's what really does weight transfer. So this helps to prevent that. It's the same shape on the bottom, so there's about 18 inches on the bottom. So as long as you have it full to there, it will not slosh, because no matter what size tank, if it's empty or completely full, you will not have sloshing. It's when it's in that in-between area that it sloshes. So I drive with it about a quarter of the way full, which is about 100 gallons, and that fills that bottom section up all the way, and then there's no sloshing. So it's pretty awesome. I have up to a 400-gallon capacity, so if I need to unhook and do some remote washing, I can. And then over here, I do have my Zero Micro water-fed pole system. This is a 40-foot setup that I have here, and it just collapses down and fits perfectly right in here. No problems there. Do have a light, 2 light strips built in that run off the emergency battery, the brake battery, so that's cool. That's the front. So we'll go around to the back here. And this is the business end. I wanted everything that potentially could leak or break easily accessible and in one area. I did not want to blow a bleach line and have it soak my toolbox down, or be by the batteries or anything like that. So basically what we have, I'll go left to right here. I've got my 8 gallon a minute a pump down here, and that's strictly for house washing, or if I've got a small driveway or any small area surface cleaning to do anything with downstreaming, is 8 gallons a minute. I have my 10 gallon a minute machine up here, and that would be for large amounts of surface cleaning. I can actually tie these two together because I did pick up a Curbinator from High-Low Solutions. So all I'll do is I've got a union piece over there that I hook my 8 gallon a minute machine and my 10 gallon machine up together to give me 18 gallons a minute of flow when needed, which will only be for running that Curbinator and if I do get a larger surface cleaner. That being said, on this side I do have all 1/2 inch plumbing to maximize that flow, and when the two are combined I will only use a 1/2 inch hose. So I did make an adapter for this, which I keep right here in this nifty little rubber clamp. That is a 1/2 inch coupler to a 3/8 plug. So that way I can run my 3/8 hose if I'm doing, like when I do banks, if I'm going from downstreaming, I'll use my 8 gallon a minute. And then when I go back to needing to do surface cleaning, I'll swap to the 10 so I can get more productive. But at 10 gallons a minute, you're okay to use 3/8 hose. So this way I have easy accessibility for both. And that just sits in there. This is my downstream manifold. So I've got my bleach line, I've got my soap line, which I do also have a metering valve on, and then this is my accessory, which I use to flush it out with water, flush it out with neutralizer, or if I do need to downstream an acid for concrete cleaning, I'll use this. I'll just pull this down, stick it in that 5 gallon bucket, pull it up, done. Let's see, coming over to the back side here, I have all my fuel lines going up. Actually, here, let's look at this first so I can move this. This is an old tote lid. One of the big totes you get at Home Depot or Costco was sitting outside, was full of rust, so I painted it. I had a little cut-off section of that carpet, so this is going to hold my wands, my guns, everything that gets wet when I'm washing and then just gets thrown in here when I'm done. It's just going to sit on this, because if water gets on this, no big deal. We'll just set that aside. I can pull it off and drain it, and that keeps the floor just a little bit cleaner. As I said in another video, I have this fuel pump here, which is hooked up to a 12 gallon fuel cell on the front nose of the trailer, and that feeds this manifold, which this goes to my P40, 8 gallon a minute machine, 10 gallon a minute machine. You can hook these electric pumps up as long as they do not put out any more than 3 psi. Over 3 psi, you'll blow the seals out in the carburetor. I left that pulse pump that is inside in there. It can just do its extra little thing because that's pulling a long way. I've got, I want to say, 45 feet of fuel line in here split between the 3 machines. About 20 feet of that is strictly from the pump going to the front to the tank. And it keeps up with all 3 of them at the same time. No issues. I've been running that same pump now for 2 years. So that's all good. Let's talk about power. I have my 12 volt battery I showed you is tucked back up in there. That all comes to this 50 amp circuit breaker. So when I'm ready to clean or do anything back here, I just flip my breaker on. That then gives power to this block. And that goes, there's 1 lead going for the starter on each machine, all 3. It also feeds my reels and the electronic devices such as my FlowPro, which is up here. The only reason I have this kind of messy is because I'm waiting on Judd to release his new version, and I'm going to be replacing this one and putting this on another skid. But I basically have that valve set up right over here so it's easily accessible if there's an issue. Before, I've had it kind of tucked away and had an issue and it was kind of hard to get to. But if I need to change my injector out, I've got it on quick connects right there. If for some reason the motor in this were to fail, I could pop this plug and rotate it manually with the Allen key very easily. Plenty of room up here. I've got the big clear filters for each machine, so all my water is double filtered. It's filtered before it goes into the tank and before it goes into here. In 5 years, I have never once had to unclog one of my tips, either in my wash gun, surface cleaner, anything. So knock on wood, extra filters do help with that. This here is my water-fed pole pump, and this is what comes in from the buffer tank and then goes out to my DI filter. From the DI filter, it runs back in over here. And by the way, the fuel pump and water-fed pole pump I have on these two switches. That's my fuel pump, and this is water-fed pole pump. So easy to reach. Don't have to get into the trailer for any of this. Moving over, this is my 5-gallon soap tank. And the reason I had a 16-gallon tank before, and I thought it was crazy how little soap I actually use. So last year I had this full and I didn't refill it until I redid this trailer. That's how little soap I actually use. So definitely metering on your downstream side. And I don't use any when I surface clean anymore. But metering it and having it mixed right makes a huge difference. So I use so little soap, I just use one of these because it's a smaller footprint. And just use Uniseals. I don't know if I mentioned before, but I have Uniseals on the bleach tank. I have Uniseals on my buffer tank. That's all I have now. No more drop sticks. Moving over, this is the back side of the ladder. You can see my other Velcro strap right there. Same thing, I have a 2x4 going across to support all that. And I do have a 2x4 on the bottom of the floor right here, which acts as both a stop for my buffer tank and my reels back up to it. And also I did caulk along that line, so if I do have any kind of a leak back here, no matter the pitch of the trailer, unless it's spraying over that, it will not wash over it. It will all come this way. So here we have the 5/8 soft wash reel. So that's got 200 feet of Flextrol soft wash hose. Then I have my 200 feet of 3/8 pressure hose for downstreaming. I have 100 feet of 1/2-inch hose for the heavy duty stuff and the carbonator, and then I have roughly 150 feet of 3/8 airline for my water-fed pole. And that goes then to this little shut-off valve here, which then goes to the 5/16 hose, that real skinny hose that goes up the water-fed pole. So on all of these, I don't use any of the manifolds except for the water-fed pole, because that is it's I think 60 psi, 1 gallon a minute, something like that. It's real low. I bypass all my reels just for the extra flow, less maintenance. Don't have to worry about swivels. Don't have to worry about quick connects or hard fittings leaking out of the manifold. So that's where we're at for that. So I basically just pull it off, and you can see here I made these little caps. I took a male plug and threaded a 1/2-inch PVC cap on there so it will not leak out, and then I just have my other end of the hose up, and the goal is to prevent water from pooling down here. Same thing on my 3/8 line. I actually just welded, because I had a bunch left over of those plugs, so I welded the end shut. It snaps in, and I just keep my ball valve shut. There should be no water dripping out in the road here, or in the back of the trailer. Same thing here, tucked inside here. I've got a cap on it, ball valve up there, shut off. And I do that as I roll it up. So the goal, keep everything dry, less rust, won't look messy. This is just a tube I put here. This hose goes to my soap valve for either my 24 volt or my P40. And if I need regular soap, I can pull this out and just drop it right in here. If I need to pull stronger concentrations of degreaser or acid or whatever in a 5-gallon bucket, I can put the 5-gallon bucket up here, take that and dip it right in. Same thing. So that way it's simplified plumbing. If you notice, my electric reels have no retraction button. I removed them. I'm going with a new idea. I've got my solenoids mounted, easily accessible on each side here. And let me show you how I'm going to be reeling these up. I'll just pull that back a little bit. I got a remote from a crane, and I wired it in low voltage line from my power supply, and then basically just put one of each of these buttons going to the solenoid. So I can roll it up, and I can hold this about 10 feet back. So no matter which side of the trailer I'm on, I can roll my hoses up. If I've got a kink in it or something, I can stand further back, and I don't have to worry about losing a wireless remote because it's tethered, because I would absolutely lose a wireless remote. So that's pretty awesome. That's going to make this super efficient. So over on this right side now, that is my smart bypass box for my pure soft wash side. I went to 2 manifolds. I had 1 manifold on my last trailer that went to both the P40 and my 24 volt. I thought that would be cheaper and it would simplify it. And what I ended up doing to be able to make those work is I had to have a ball valve on my bypass for the P40, because otherwise it would not pull to my 24 volt. And sure enough, my dumbass self forgot to turn that valve one time, and I ended up blowing a hose on my soft wash hose there, and I didn't think anything of it, so I just fixed it and plugged it back in, and then I ended up blowing the pump. Boop. So no more worries for that. They each have their own manifold now. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. That's I need to get that written on the underside of my hat so I always see it. So this one here is a 1-inch manifold that feeds the P40, and this is a 3/4 inch manifold that feeds the 24 volt. They both come from a series of valves here, and I did 3 valves so that no matter what, it's safer for both myself and the pumps. 3 handles pointed down is for the 24 volt. 3 handles pointed back is for the P40. So I know bright colors, I'm going to see it every time. That's my kind of expanded view of the plumbing there, nice and tidy. It is on a piece of plywood right now just because I want to make sure it's how I like it before I go ahead and cut my piece of aluminum and drill all the holes in there. This over here, this switch is for my 24 volt pump, and then the other bank is blank currently. But you can see I'm riding out these Northstar pumps. I had a couple extra, so I'm going to use them until they kaput on me, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch to the bigger, badder Remco that's probably much more durable. I'm using the same plate that I had on my other trailer for my quick connects for my soft wash hose. So this upper one is for the P40 and the lower is for the 24 volt. I am in the process of making some silicone plugs to cover these so I don't get that residual drip. Because as you know, after you roll the hose up going down the road, stuff shakes and it drips a little bit. So right now I just kind of got the towel hugging it right there. But I think that is everything. We're going on 28 minutes here. I apologize for the length of the video, but you guys know I like to be very thorough, and I'd rather say things than have you question it. So that's it. I am super happy with this. The weight distribution I have, the buffer tank, which will never be full in transit unless I'm going very slow, not very far, is just center of the axles. The bleach tank is forward of the axles, and then with all between the weight of the trailer itself, the toolbox, and everything else, with all this equipment back here, if I'm driving, I've jerked the wheel a couple times and it just snaps and it trues itself. You do not want to overload the rear of your trailer and get in a bad situation, especially when you're dealing with a lot of weight, especially when you're only dealing with a half-ton truck and not even a 3/4 or 1-ton truck. If you have your trailer distributed incorrectly, you will lose control and cause some damage. So yeah, this I've already had it out twice. Everything has worked rather well. I'll be going out this week on a couple other commercial jobs, so I'll get to put a little more of the equipment on test. But I'm very happy with it. It's going to be very convenient. I was in here the other day. The high for the day was 28. I had that little oil heater going in here so my stuff doesn't freeze, and I was able to work in there with my gloves off. So this is my fuel tank. I have its neck on the same side as my truck so I can fill both of them at the same time. This will eventually be getting a wrap. And this is it's literally the same exact trailer, except it doesn't have all the extra frills on it that I use for my floor finishing business. This is that little oil heater. You just set this guy on low, and it just heats oil, and it radiates. A lot safer than a space heater. And I can just show you in here real quick. So I've got burnisher, stripper, scrubber, my carts, my wet vac system there. That's that Curbinator. Just in here for storage right now. It'll be moving over. But yeah, I strip and re-wax VCT tile floors for commercial businesses. It's nice to do inside work sometimes. I could fit that mini Mondo back here if I wanted to. It would fit back here. And with the 40-inch doors, I can fit a bigger surface cleaner. That Curbinator can fit up in here, no problem. I am going to make a little ramp setup that I can store in there so I can wheel it up and in. And I have all this real estate up here for in transit to those jobs for using it. So that's it. Hope this is helpful. Guys, welcome to post comments, questions, whatever you want. Ask me about anything. I'm happy to do what I can. And yeah, hopefully y'all have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Be safe, and wash on.